All right, good morning, YouTube. Today, I'm going to be talking about what I feel is messing up so many of you. So, this is something that I've might have even been guilty of spreading, but also have been affected myself. So, part of the reason why I developed my training philosophy into what it is currently is because of this issue. And that is the promise of a new PR in 12 weeks, a new PR with this program. If you do this program, you're going to get a new PR. Strength training is not that simple. Part of the reason why a lot of you overthink your training is because you want to get that guarantee of a new PR. The only thing that is going to guarantee a new PR for yourself is hard work. And the only thing that's going to guarantee a new PR for yourself, whether it's a 1 rep max or a rep max, so like a 5, 10 rep max, something of that nature, is going to be your will to work hard. Now, there are obviously reasons why you want to do things like programming and making sure that your progression is at least intelligent. Now, this is necessary. You do need a progression, you do need a program. But the thing that trips you up is you want a promise. You want a promise that if I do this program, if I use this type of progression, if I do this, if I do that, then I'm guaranteed a new PR. And that's not necessarily the case. What's going to guarantee a PR is your consistency and effort. There's a reason why when I started this channel, I had to make sure that that was the most important thing. And I feel like sometimes we do get away from that. And I have to remind not only myself, but also anyone that I'm working with that consistency and effort are the most important things. If all you care about is, does this program make sense, and because it makes sense, that means there's a guarantee of a PR at the end of the tunnel, then I'm going to do that program. You're not really understanding why we have a program. The program should facilitate that. The program should elicit that effect, but that's not why you do it. The reason why you make a program, the reason why you make a plan is so that you maximize your consistency and effort. That is it. That is the purpose of the program, because consistency and effort is what makes you get better. It's what makes you get stronger. It's what makes you improve over time. It's not necessarily the program. The program is just what lets you be consistent, lets you put in good effort. Anything outside of that is just kind of fooling yourself. If you think to yourself like, oh, this program is science based, oh, this program has nice pretty numbers, this program has these percentages that just like, let's seem nice, and like all those kind of things. This is why I'm going to be making a video talking about why a training philosophy is just much better than a run-of-the-mill program, a science-based kind of training style. A training philosophy. The thing that separates the biggest, strongest guys on YouTube in the gym is not whether or not they watch Mike Urzatel. It's not whether or not they watch hundreds of hours of Jeff Nippard or anything like that. What separates the people with the greatest possible physiques is just a simple training philosophy. I am going to do a +1, like Massive Iron, Steve Shaw. I am going to go through base phases and peak phases like Alexander Bromley and getting strong. I'm going to just get better. This is why the Greg Doucette fanboys actually made pretty good gains at first with their train harder than last time, until they started doing that bullshit of main gaining. But before that point, they were doing well just because they understood, yeah, train harder than last time. It was simple, it was easy, it was something that they could do long term for the most part. Like, I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but I hope you understand what I'm saying here. You do not need a perfect program. You don't need a program that where it's just like, I'm going to do 12 weeks and then like I'm going to do a different program in the next 12 weeks. That doesn't make sense. Quite honestly, this is the one thing that kind of makes a pet peeve of mine. My program has not really changed significantly for the past, like, let's say year, 2 years. The biggest change that happened with my own programming was when I hired a coach. Reason being is because I didn't want to just like hire a coach and then tell him like, oh no, I've been doing it this way all this time. No. So when I hired a coach, I was working with Faz, great coach. I highly recommend getting into his coaching services as well if you are looking for, if you're looking for someone other than myself. Um, but that was when I made the biggest change in my programming. Before that point, it was just upper lowers, back every day. Um, Concurrent periodization where I have like more strength focused days where there's a bit more of a strength progression, and then I have my volume days where I have a little bit more of a +1 rep goal kind of progression. So that was it. That was my training. It was quick, easy, simple. It wasn't this need for percentages. It wasn't this need for like RPE, RIR, SFR, what's like there's another word that Mike will tell you is like stimulus magnitude or something like that. And like, you don't need all that. I promise you, you don't need all that. What you need is to tell yourself something really simple. I am going to be consistent and I'm going to apply effort. If you do those two things, you're going to take yourself pretty far. Now, there are, of course, are limitations, and that's when we can start talking about the nuances and all the other things about programming. And that it's at that point that those things begin to help. But the programming, the exercise science, all of those things cannot replace consistency and effort. If you are always looking for that new 4-week program, 8-week program, 12-week program, 4-week base building, and then a 4-week peak, you're not going to get very strong. How much strength can you really gain in 4 weeks? I'm going to answer that for you, not much. How much size can you really put on in 4 weeks? I'm going to answer that for you, not that much. So really commit yourself to something long term. A program is just a vehicle for your long term training philosophy. This is the biggest issue I feel has kind of come from the strength side of things, is that it has all these promises that it just cannot deliver on. A new PR in 12 weeks, the best of size and strength from a powerlifting program. It's just not going to happen. You need to be intelligent. You need to have a training philosophy. So I'm going to leave you with that. My dog is getting very bored and I'm going to take him for a walk. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.